What if I told you that some of the greatest artists did not use paintbrushes or chisels to create their masterpiece? Instead, they built sculptures with engines and steel that hug the road at 150 miles an hour. These 7 cars redefined automotive art and went beyond transportation to become timeless cultural symbols. Number 1. Citroën DS, 1955. When the Citroën DS first appeared at the Paris Motor Show in 1955, the crowd gasped. It didn't even look like a car, but more like something from the future. Sculptor turned designer Flaminio Bertoni shaped it with flowing, aerodynamic curves that seemed to move even while standing still. This futuristic vision was paired with André Lefebvre's aeronautical engineering and Paul Mage's revolutionary hydropneumatic suspension, which allowed the car to glide over rough roads as if floating on air. The DS was hand-finished with attention to surfaces that caught light like a polished statue. It wasn't long before France claimed it as a symbol of national pride, and rightfully so. A car so advanced it made rivals seem obsolete overnight. The cultural weight of the DS deepened when Charles de Gaulle's motorcade famously survived an assassination attempt thanks to the car's stability. This added a mythic layer to its already remarkable reputation. Owners treated it more than just transport. It was companionship for them. La Déesse, a goddess that embodied elegance, protection, and innovation. Number 2. Jaguar E-Type, 1961. The Jaguar E-Type stunned the world not only with its speed, but with its sheer beauty. When it debuted at the Geneva Motor Show in 1961, even industry titans stopped in their tracks. Enzo Ferrari himself claimed it the most beautiful car ever made. Its aerodynamic form was the work of Malcolm Sayer, an engineer who treated curves as equations and used mathematics to shape a body that fused art with physics. That long nose, low stance, and elegant teardrop cabin weren't decorations, but the visual outcome of aerodynamic necessity. The craftsmanship behind it was equally remarkable. Lightweight panels were fitted with precision. Disc brakes and independent suspension brought racing tech to the road, and every detail carried the quiet elegance of British minimalism. In addition to being the breathtaker in showrooms and museums, the E-Type defined the 1960s culture as much as the Beatles or miniskirts. Can you believe that it's even cited alongside paintings and furniture as mid-century design canon? This influence over the enthusiasts may be attributed to its surprisingly reasonable cost that made it accessible as well as nostalgic. A memory in metal that still makes hearts race decades later. Number 3. Lamborghini Miura, 1966. If the E-Type was beauty born from function, the Lamborghini Miura was beauty born from audacity. In 1966, Ferruccio Lamborghini wanted to prove his young company could rival Ferrari, and what emerged was a car that changed the world. Designed by Marcello Gandini at Bertoni, the Miura was impossibly low, its mid-engine layout borrowed from race cars but wrapped in curves that resembled a reclining predator. The headlights, framed by eyelashes, and the flowing surfaces gave the Miura a sensuality that no road car had captured before. Underneath, it carried a transversely mounted V12 engine that growled like theater. Everything about the Miura felt handcrafted, from the panels that were shaped in aluminum to the interiors trimmed with leather and gauges laid out like jewelry. When it appeared, it instantly created the modern supercar category. A car's existence based not for practicality, but for drama, for emotion, and for art. Culturally, it turned Lamborghini from a newcomer into a legend and was gracing magazine covers, posters, and dreams across the globe in no time. Some owners spoke of being overwhelmed by its sound, its presence, and its sheer ability to stop traffic. To this day, if you see a Miura in motion, I bet it will feel like witnessing a sculpture break free of a gallery and sprint down the street. Number 4. Ferrari 250 GTO, 1962-64. Few cars carry the mystique of the Ferrari 250 GTO. Built in the early 1960s, it was created with a singular purpose, and that was to dominate on the racetrack. Giotto Bizzarini began shaping its form for aerodynamics, while Sergio Scaglietti's coach-building genius translated engineering into sculpture. The result was a long-nosed, muscular body that seemed poised for speed even when standing still. Each 250 GTO was hand-built, its aluminum panels subtly unique, reflecting the artisanal process more than mass production. Beneath lay Ferrari's legendary V12 that proved itself not just by winning the GT class on its debut, but also securing the FIA World Sports Car Championship, Tour de France automobile event race, and Targa Florio. Beyond its racing history, it brought art and exclusivity under one umbrella. Did you know that only 36 cars were produced? Yet it still succeeded to become a cultural object as much as a car, setting auction records that treat it like a Van Gogh on wheels. Its cultural impact is tied not only to its beauty and rarity, but to its racing victories, making it a legend both on and off the track. Owners describe themselves less as owners and more as guardians of history, entrusted with keeping a living artifact alive. The 250 GTO represents the highest point where racing necessity and emotional passion meet in perfect harmony. Number 5. Porsche 911, 1963 to present. Unlike most icons, the Porsche 911 became art not by radical transformation, but by decades of careful evolution. Introduced in 1963, it looked modest compared to Italian exotics, compact with a sloping roofline and an engine that's tucked at the rear. Designed by Ferdinand Bucci Porsche, the 911's shape was simple but immediately distinctive. What made it remarkable was how Porsche chose to refine rather than replace it over generations. Each new 911 carried the same silhouette, updated with precision rather than revolution, creating one of the strongest design lineages in history. Whether you look at the inside or out, craftsmanship was evident as far as eyes could wander. The flat-six engine, the balance of proportions, and the ergonomics that made it uniquely rewarding to drive. Over time, the 911 became a cultural statement about authenticity and tradition. It inspired art, design studies, and an entire community of enthusiasts who wave to each other on the road. Owners often keep them for decades, passing them down like heirlooms, making it a symbol of emotional ties that span generations. The 911 continues to be a conversation between past and present that remains beautiful because it never forgets its roots. Number 6. Tesla Model S 2012. In 2012, Tesla reimagined what an electric car could be, and the Model S became the symbol of a new age. Designed under Franz von Holzhausen, it stood out for its smooth and uncluttered exterior. This car leaned more towards contemporary architecture than traditional automotive styling. Inside, the absence of buttons was replaced by a giant central touchscreen that clearly signaled at a radical shift. What? That cars could now feel like living technology, their identity shaped as much by software as by steel. The craftsmanship lay not only in its aluminum body or low-slung battery platform, but in the seamless integration of hardware and software, which was updated continuously over the air like a digital artwork evolving in real time. Culturally, the Model S shattered the stereotype that electric cars had to be dull or compromised. It won Motor Trend's Car of the Year in 2013 and forced the industry to rethink how design and sustainability can go hand in hand. Owners connect with that first silent surge of acceleration paired with the uncanny feeling of being in motion but without noise. Almost like flying. It's not even a question that the Model S made the electric future desirable and undeniably artistic. Number 7. Aston Martin DB5, 1963. The Aston Martin DB5 is elegance incarnate. Built in 1963 with Italian coach building by Touring Superleggera and hand-assembled in Newport Pagnell, it embodied the artistry of tailoring in automotive form. The balanced proportions and flowing curves mirrored mid-century couture, while Connolly leather and walnut veneers created a cabin as refined as a gentleman's club. The DB5 might have remained a respected Grand Tourer, but fate elevated it to icon when it appeared in Goldfinger as James Bond's gadget-laden companion. That's how it became inseparable from the image of British sophistication, danger, and style overnight. From film screens to toy shelves, the DB5 imprinted itself on global culture, ensuring its legacy as much as cinema as automotive history. Owners often describe the emotional experience of driving a DB5 as sensory theater. From the smell of leather, the touch of wood, and the sound of its straight-six engine, it provided an experience like no other. Like stepping into a story that's written in the languages of engineering and myth. The DB5 proved that when craftsmanship meets elegance, it creates a kind of magic that's forever remembered as the definition of cool. From a racetrack to the silver screen, these artworks are embedded into history with their one-of-a-kind style and power. Subscribe if you want more long drives through time so you never miss the stories that power the heart of automobile legends.